The air in the briefing room was cold, sharp, metallic, like the inside of a coffin. I walked in, boots clicking against the steel floor, the scent of oil and gunpowder still clinging to my uniform. The men stopped laughing for a second, then resumed, quieter this time, like hyenas deciding whether I was prey or threat. At the head of the table, Admiral Prescott, my wife's father, didn't stand. He leaned back, eyes like blue glass, smile razor-thin. "What's your call sign, princess?" he asked, voice slicing through the hum of the room. The laughter erupted. He wanted to humiliate me, in front of his men, his command, his daughter's husband. But humiliation requires care, and I had none left to give. I met his gaze, my voice steady. Reaper Zero. The room went dead silent. A flicker crossed his face, recognition, then unease. I sat down across from him, slowly, deliberately. My gloved hands folded over the dossier I'd brought, the one with his daughter's name stamped on it. Because today wasn't about briefing tactics, it was about truth and death, just not the kind that leaves blood. It started 2 weeks ago. A text, not mine, not meant for me. She'd left her phone unlocked on the kitchen counter, a careless mistake for someone so careful. A message lit up the screen. "Miss your voice in the comms, Commander. No one sounds like you in my ear." No name, just a number. And then her reply. "You always knew how to handle me under pressure." I didn't react, didn't breathe. She walked in moments later, towel around her neck, fresh from her run, smiling like nothing was burning. That's when I realized she wasn't nervous, she wasn't guilty, she was trained. The daughter of an admiral, a woman who could lie without blinking. So I smiled back, poured her coffee, asked about her day. She talked, I listened, and something in me shifted, like a safety catch sliding off. That night, when she slept, I took the phone, pulled the records. The number traced back to a secured naval channel, classified, encrypted, her father's command network. My mind went cold. There's betrayal, and then there's conspiracy. For days I moved like a ghost through my own life. She noticed nothing, or maybe she noticed everything and didn't care. I started digging quietly, through her logs, her military reports, her encrypted backups. A pattern emerged, covert trips, overlapping schedules, phantom mission briefings that didn't exist on any database I could access. Every path led back to him, the admiral, father, mentor, commanding officer. The same man who toasted us at our wedding, glass raised high. "The Navy builds families as strong as its fleets," he'd said. But fleets rust, and families sink quietly. The deeper I went, the more rot I found. Unauthorized communications, false clearances, falsified mission intel, and her voice, recorded across encrypted channels, calm, intimate, familiar. Copy that, Admiral, always 2 steps ahead. I stared at the waveform of her voice on the screen until the lines blurred into static. Was it emotional, physical, strategic? Did it matter? She'd been sleeping with her father's operations, literally or metaphorically. It was the same treason either way. So I gathered everything, the transcripts, the audio, the digital fingerprints, and waited. The evidence landed like a precision strike, a single decrypted file, buried deep in naval archives. Operation Siren, authorized by Admiral Prescott, executed by his daughter. A covert mission, unsanctioned, used to redirect weapons contracts under the guise of field operations. They were funneling millions. And the name on the dummy corporation? Her maiden name. I stared at it for a long time. Not anger, not sorrow, just stillness. That night she walked into our kitchen, hair tied back, eyes tired. I handed her the folder. She flipped it open, paused, her breath caught. When she looked at me, she didn't ask how I found it. She only whispered, "You weren't supposed to know." I said nothing. Silence has weight, and she drowned in it. That brings me back to the briefing room, to the Admiral's smirk, to the laughter that stopped when I said my call sign. Because Reaper Zero wasn't just a name. It was the code name for the final audit operation, the one tasked with exposing internal corruption in command, the one authorized by the Secretary of Defense himself, and the one I led. I slid the folder across the table, his daughter's name, his signature, the bank trails, the encrypted communications. The men around us shifted uneasily. He didn't look at the file at first. He looked at me. Then he opened it. The blood drained from his face, slow, controlled, like a man realizing he'd already drowned. "I warned her," he said quietly. I leaned forward, my voice low. "She warned you." He understood. His empire was collapsing, not from outside attack, but from inside truth. And I didn't need to raise my voice. The silence was execution enough. She tried calling that night. I didn't answer. By morning, both their names were on federal warrants. Their ranks stripped. Their accounts frozen. My orders were complete. I stood by the pier as dawn broke, the horizon bleeding light across the water. The sea didn't care who betrayed who. It just swallowed what was given. I thought I might feel rage, relief, vindication, but I felt nothing. That's the thing about ghosts. You stop hearing your own heartbeat long before you die. I turned from the ocean, the wind cutting through the last of the smoke. Behind me, their world was burning. Ahead of me, silence. And that's all I'd ever wanted. Reaper Zero, mission complete.